Sophia Nunez from Class 7A. Now, I will present about causes and consequences of globalization. I will present from my subject, individuals, and society. Do you know what is globalization? If you don't know what's globalization, globalization is a term used to describe how trade and technology make the world more interconnected and interdependent place. Globalization also means growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations. What are the causes of globalization? There are four main causes of globalization. Number 1, development in transport, especially in air transport, because it can deliver trade products more easier. Number 2, development in communication. Everyone all over the world is connected with each other. Living in the digital era, everyone should have sufficient communication tools or gadgets. Number 3, trade. Trade is a big opportunity for companies to expand their business all over the world. And finally, number 4, labor availability. Workers and professionals can work all over the world, so they're not confined space. I will be focused on globalization in communication. Question number 1. Globalization and development in communication. Why did I choose it? The reasons are: number 1, communication is part of our daily life, no matter we communicate through online or face-to-face. Number 2, satellites, fiber optic cables, and internet is really important because we can share information from different time zones or locations. And finally, number 3, the world is in your hands. We are all connected through communication gadgets. Now on to the second part. Globalization in communication helps to increase business opportunities, to remove culture barriers, and create a global village, especially for least developed countries. To exchange information, accessibility, and knowledge from the most developed countries to developing countries. To raise the ability to communicate with everyone all over the world by using Lingua Franca. The evidence for globalization in communication. Do you know a company called Tesla? If you don't know, Tesla is a revolutionary electric vehicle. They have a mission, which is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. They have a headquarters in California. So the CEO wants to expand the business all over the world by establishing representatives from all continents all over the world. So as a company, they should have a meeting. Just like a weekly meeting, monthly meeting, or even annual meeting. So of course they cannot come face to face. So they just need to have satellite, Wi-Fi, and sufficient gadgets. And there you go. They can hold the meeting with the CEO, no matter from different time zones or locations. Now on to question number 2. Invention and name of invention. So, is globalization new? Actually, globalization started before World War I. It was not only the phenomenon. Globalization recently is revolutionary in forms and technologies. What about inventions? Technologies nowadays are revolutionary. It is based on their previous inventions, and I will give you an example for it. And this is the example. Have you ever heard telegraph? So, telegraph is the first electrical communication system to send text messages. It was first invented by Coke and Wheatstone in 1837 they invented the telegraph, but with wires. And it was developed by Marconi in 1895. And it is wireless. And then there's a new invention called telephone, invented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1849. Now, let's get to the evidence. So, we're currently in the middle of a pandemic, and we need to do everything from home. Like work from home, study from home, school from home, and many more. All we need to use are satellites or Wi-Fi provider, and also sufficient communication gadgets or tools. With that, we can call with people, video call with people, play with people, and many more. These are the applications that we use in our daily life. So, Telegraph is being replaced by WhatsApp, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and many more. And also, home phones are being replaced by mobile phones. Now on to question number 3. Lingua, Franca, and preferred language. The consequences of globalization is the use of international agreed language. I agree that English becomes the most preferred language of globalization in business, commerce, and etc. The reason why English is the most preferred language is because English is spoken by the majority of the population in almost every region of the world. People should learn English because it is a must. Besides, there are other languages in the world that are also preferred, such as Spanish, Mandarin, Arabic, and French. Chinese are also a dominant language in international business and commerce. Lingua franca's effect is also part of globalization since there are mixing of languages. For example, Chinese and English becomes Chinglish, and Singapore and English becomes Singlish. Impacts of lingua franca. Some languages are endangered because many people want to learn other languages, which are the preferred languages, rather than learning their own native language. They should learn English because many terminologies in globalization, especially in technology, are in English, such as sign in, sign up, log in, send, and many more. Now on to question number 4. Transnational corporations, TNCs. Have you ever heard about TNCs? So TNC are companies that exist in more than one country. TNCs involve the international production of goods and services, foreign investments or income and assets. How to do? TNCs set up or build factories in certain countries, especially developing countries. Why? Because the land and labor availability is cheaper than the original one. However, TNCs has positive and negative features. The positive features are bring stable income, you can create job opportunities, exchange culture, exchange technology, can improve development in infrastructure, and many more. Some negative features of TNCs are some jobs require full skilled people, so locals one cannot get in. Building many infrastructure can damage the environment. Overexploiting natural resources can cause pollution. Exchanging cultures can make a culture fade away, and many more.
In this section, I will be more focused on the positive features, especially in economic sectors of designated country of TNCs.
So here's the evidence. Have you ever heard about Nestle? Nestle is a Switzerland company that produces dairy food, Nescafe, Kit Kat, Smarties, Nesquik, and many more. It was reported at May 2021, Nestle invests $220 million a new beverage factory in Indonesia. Have you ever heard about Samsung? Samsung is a technology company and home appliance from South Korea. It was reported that Samsung invests $23 million or 27 billion rupiah in 2015. The factories was established in Indonesia.
TNCs can contribute to the national economic growth, productivity gains, and acceleration in many sectors.
As a summary, there are 4 main causes of globalization. Number 1, development transport. Number 2, communications. Number 3, trade. And number 4, labor availability. So as you can see, globalization makes everything much more easier. You can even exchange information and knowledge from the most developed countries to the developing countries. So TNCs bring the companies worldwide due to globalization. And don't forget to be aware of the culture changes and environmental issues of the designated countries. Just a reminder, if you want to be a part of the globalization, you should have sufficient knowledge in English. And finally, thank you.
And these are my references. Thank you.